So we've had this glass with metal table in the yard for well over 10 years, I think. And it is starting to show its rust just from normal sitting around for forever. So I think one of my next projects, since I have a little bit of time, is take all the plastic bits off, clean it up, paint it, and see if it looks better. So let's see how that goes. Well, I made a little bit of progress. I was trying to figure out how in the world to get these little plastic things out that hold the glass in, because there's this lip that's crimped over and it won't just come out. And I thought, well, they hold the glass in the center. I wonder if I put them all on one side, if that will then let you shift the glass this direction, and then it does in fact come up past the plastic. So I can't do it with one hand and hold the phone, but with having them all on this side, I should be able to lift up the glass on this end, slide it up in, because there's an additional distance that I can go upward that will pull this bottom edge in a little bit, and then I should be able to pull out the plastic things, and then this bottom opening should be big enough that the glass can come out, and then I can get in and clean everything up. But also looking at this, you can see these are all cracked. So I'm fairly certain if I take the feet out, they will come into pieces, and then I will have to come up with new feet or something. So I might just leave those in and try and sand around it and just paint with them in, because I don't have replacement feet and it's not worth playing around. Because the table's probably only, well, I don't know what they sell these now at Home Depot or whatnot, but I'm pretty sure that, this was more than 10 years old. This probably has thicker steel than any of the current ones that they would have, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. So first is to try and get the glass out. And I figured, alright, I'll try it with one glove on, one glove off, because I don't want to get cut on the glass. So now that the plastic's out, just try and figure out, yeah, there we get the plastic bits out. I have them all on the one side, and I got those out. And now I have to figure out which way to twist or move the whole frame to try and get the glass to come out, because it's just too much. And you can see it flex when I move some of the legs. And it's like, yeah, sometimes it would get stuck, sometimes it wouldn't. And it's like, okay, try again. And then I realized, alright, it's just too much. I'm going to bend out a section of the metal, because instead of having it curved over, it's very possible that they put a press and closed that in. So I'll get a section, and I needed 3 hands, so 1 to hold up on the glass, 2 to move the things. And so I used the gloves to just push up gently, and then you can see me going back and forth, trying to get the glass to come up through that slightly stretched spot. And it wasn't stretched enough. Stretch and bend it a little bit more. And I did both sides, I guess. Not too much on that side, mostly on the one side. And it's like, oh, it's so close, it's so close. Try the gloves again. And it came out. Well, that was a bit sketchy, but it worked. I needed 3 hands, so I used 2 hands and gloves. That helped put pressure on it to hold the glass up, and I did bend this frame out. Not a massive amount, but just enough that I was able to work it up out through there, and with a little bit of twisting of the frame, because when you twist the frame, or I should say when you pull the 2 legs together, it makes the part where you're not pushing wider. So by having it this way and pulling, I was able to make it just slightly wider enough to get it up out. I don't know if we'll see how well it goes back in, but yeah, at least I got the glass out. So now I can go and clean it up good. And where I was bending things, you can see how much rust is up under the paint. So yeah, it definitely needs worked on. So that'll be next. Alright, time to see if I can clean off some of the rust. So I really like this Milwaukee tool. That works so much nicer than the bigger angle grinders and such, and you can put different ends on. This one was just the rubber with the grit in the little rubber fingers, and it was just enough to take some of the paint off, all the rust off for where it could get to, and it could actually get down in the little cracks. So that worked pretty good. So let's just go back and forth all the spots, and lots of back and forth, and then it's like, okay, I need different stuff. What am I going to get? Oh yeah, gloves and the wire brush. Because I couldn't get down in some of the spots with the tool, and then I tried again. But combination of the two, I think I got it good enough. And now let's try the paint. And this was the third can of paint that I tried. The first two didn't spray. I was like, yeah, that's annoying. But this worked. It ended up taking 2 coats later, but it worked. This is a Rust-Oleum bronze paint and primer that I had used on the top of the mailbox a while back, and it had some extra. And it's good I had extra when I was done with this, because I found out tonight that the top of the mailbox was starting to rust again, so I cleaned that off. No video on that. It's literally just sand and put paint on, so that's kind of boring. But this is coming out pretty cool. And having it on cardboard means I can rotate it easier without having to touch the paint very much. So that was a plus. But yeah, that seems like it's going to work. Cleaned up decent. Lots of there. Like I said, I did a second coat. I don't think I recorded that because, again, it's just paint. But it worked. Well, the new paint's on. It is specifically this paint, Rust-Oleum Universal Metallic All-Surface Paint and Primer, which is needed because it went down to the metal in some spots where it was rusted. Wood, metal, plastic, masonry, oil, rubbed bronze finish. So it looks pretty good. This is the same paint that I used to fix the mailbox the other year. And yeah, I mean, is it perfect? No. It's for a cheap table that the goal is to just have it not look rusty. So it doesn't look rusty anymore. Now the question is, the big question, can I get the glass back in without breaking the glass? So let's see. Now the exciting part. Can I get the glass back in without messing the paint up too much, or cutting my fingers, or breaking the glass? I'm not going to give a spoiler alert. You'll just have to watch. I think you can figure it out based on the thumbnail of the video, how it came out, but yeah. It was hard getting it back in there. You can see it's not a straightforward thing to get that to drop down in. And I tried it different ways. I even tried with the gloves to try and get that down in, and because it was trying to go in versus come out, I needed the gloves not as thick, so that's why I took the one out. But yeah, just back and forth, and it worked. So now that I got the glass in, time to get the plastic bits in. So I held it up to give the plastic bits space to fit down in, and you can see me, well, you can kind of see me stuffing them down in behind the chair leg. Or I should say, the table leg. Don't sit on the glass table. That's a bad idea to make it to be a chair. And then just move the things around. There's 4 of them in 4 quadrants. So shift and slide and shift and slide and back and forth. And it eventually came around. So now that those 2 are on the one side, just get it such that they're all one on each section between the legs. I figured was the best place to go for that. And that one wasn't going to go past easily without shifting it. But then again, once I shifted it around, that worked. So I think we're all good. Yay. That was a bit stressful and scary, but that's fine. I did ding the paint up a little bit, but again, that's fine. It's not on spots where it went to metal, and that's going to be on the bottom, so I don't think that'll be a problem. I may still try and touch it up afterwards anyway, just because that's what I tend to do. But I got it back in, so now I got to just get the little plastic bits in. So these go in this side down, and this little edge here catches the lip up underneath, and then this bottom section is where the glass sits. So I just have to get these in place to sit along the edge, all on one side, and hold this up and halfway like I took it out, and then these will slip down around and then in place, and then I can move them each to a corner, and we should be good. So let's do that part. Well, there we go. We got the plastic things up in, the glass is in, the rust is covered up, and I think that's going to work. So from the bottom, if I can do this without dropping it, you can see the plastic things are up in, and they go over the glass, and that's how it holds it in place. So yeah, and now if I can put it back down without dropping it. There we go, a fixed up table.